So yeah, once again, the weekly Rich Rock and Metal News Show. Got a bit of a late start tonight, having technical difficulties already. I just restarted the live on YouTube. We'll see how it goes. But thank you for being here, TikTok and Instagram. I appreciate y'all. So that stuff out of the way, let's talk about some major festival news. There's been a lot of festival announcements at the end of the year. We had a ton last week, so a few less this week, but no less important. This is the time of the year typically when festivals tickets go on sale, lineups get announced. I don't know if you like going to festivals. I love going to festivals. We'll see. Furnace Fest continues to get old hardcore bands and post-hardcore bands back together. I don't know if it's because of the coolness of the fest. It just happens to be the right time in the world to get some of these bands back going. But yeah. Furnace Fest has gotten a plea for purging to reunite. Ridiculous. A plea for purging. Band has been defunct, retired for quite a while, many years, and they're coming back to do this. So I think it's kind of cool. In addition to that announcement for their lineup, they have announced a shed bash, basically a pre-party, a small one-stage pre-party. Listen to the bands for just the pre-show for Furnace Fest. This by itself would be an awesome fest, by the way. Hatebreed, Norma Jean, Walls of Jericho, Gideon, Vain FM, With Blood Comes Cleansing, With Honor, Orthodox, Slow Pulse, and No Cure. I don't think they're going to add anybody else. Apparently, it's like a smaller lineup, smaller one stage, less capacity the night before the major fest. So right at the same venue in Alabama, in Birmingham, Alabama, the Schloss Furnaces. I hope I said that correctly. Get sloshed at Slosh. I don't know. But yeah, that's Furnace Fest. Looking pretty killer. 70 Tons of Metal. You may see some of that advertising here on the website. 70 Tons of Metal has announced Elven King and Batushka. I'm not sure which Batushka. I'm never quite sure which Batushka. There's several, at least two, if not more. I think it's the Metal Blade Batushka, so I don't know if that's which one is the right one. Tara's here. What's up, Tara? I'll wave to you. Hello. So yeah, this is not a fun story. In addition to Elven King and Batushka getting added to 70 Tons of Metal, Vector was announced and then quickly removed from the lineup, just like when they got their record deal last fall. I don't know if you followed the story. Vector was a pretty cool band a while back, 7-8 years ago. Their frontman's a woman beater, uncool. His whole band is quit. They tried to come back. They have a new record, I guess. Century Media signed them for like a day and then cut them off the label. The same thing just happened with the Cruise. I just felt it was interesting to talk about how quickly this all came about. The public outcry was huge. Metal Twitter came for you, Vector. They'll continue to come for you. And, we have a relationship with the Cruise. I would like to go on the Cruise someday. We've covered the Cruise in the past. So I just felt it was, necessary to talk about. And, again, we don't permit certain things in our community. And beating on women is one of them. Just not gonna have it. Full Terror Metal Assault happening every September in Southern Illinois at Cave-In Rock has announced they've released their early bird tickets and their lineup first announcement is imminent. So stay tuned to the Full Terror Assault Metal Fest websites and socials. They're going to announce their lineup pretty soon. So yeah, definitely, if you're watching these on Instagram and TikTok, tag your friends, anybody who'd be interested in seeing this show, who likes metal festivals and interesting metal news. We're going to bring it. Also in the news, Inferno Metal Festival. We've been talking a lot about them. We've covered that festival before. That takes place every April in Oslo, Norway. The lineup this year is insane. We'll talk about that in a second. They just added label night for Indie Recordings. Indie Recordings is an awesome black metal and sort of death doom metal label in Europe, and they're going to have their own label night featuring like a pre-party for the whole festival. Vain, Eradicated, and Vorbid. These are all killer bands. Indie Recordings, pretty flawless as a label. We've been friends with them and covered them for years. Whatever they put out is usually really great if you like metal, especially cult metal, black metal, stuff like that. Also, let's see. Yeah, I was mentioning the Inferno Festival lineup is sick. I got the poster here. Emperor, Cannibal Corpse, Amorphous, Dark Funeral, Wolves in the Throne Room, Jevel, Mork, Massacre, Watain, Nile, Arcturus, Elder, Abat, Unleashed, Crowbar. Sick lineup, man. I would like to go to this, honestly. Svalbard, super good. And then on to the regular ass tour news. This is actually we're going a little faster now. And these are either about to take place or booked and announced. So these are fun. Heilung is about to kick off their European tour tomorrow night in Tilburg, the Netherlands, the original homeland of ghostcultmag, before I took it over and brought it to America's shores. But Heilung, one of our favorite bands of the year, their awesome album Grieve is out from last year. I don't know why metalheads like this stuff. It's basically Norse pagan spiritual music, very primitive music on ancient instruments and ceremonies and people. Metalheads love this stuff. Cool. Very cool band. I've got to meet them and hang out with them. Many of you are here, especially on YouTube, because of our interview with Heilung, which we're grateful for. It's actually our most watched interview on YouTube. It's almost 90,000 hits in a couple of years. So that was pretty great. And yeah, I'm pretty touched that worked out. Also in the tour news, Kings of Thrash. This is a project we've been talking about. This is former members of Megadeth, David Ellefson, Jeff Young, Chris Poland, all on the same stage, going on tour, playing early Megadeth classics from their first few records that Chris and Jeff were on, records that Dave obviously was on. We interviewed Jeff Young. Blabbermouth mentioned this tour today and again shared our interview with Jeff Young. He's a guitar wizard. If you know, you know. You can check that out here on the channel. Maybe I'll link it in the description in case YouTube shits the bed again. But yeah, Kings of Thrash. They're doing a pretty extensive U.S. tour. And then their plan, I think, is to go over to Europe later in the summer. So that might be very exciting. Sleep Token, who's about to kick off a U.K. tour, dropped a brand new song today, Chokehold. So check that out. Some of those dates for Sleep Token are already selling out. So you better get a move on if you're in the UK or Ireland and you want to see those shows. We mentioned God Forbid's 2 reunion shows this weekend. Super excited. What's up? What's up? Instagram is filling up with people. Glad to see you. TikTok, if you're alive, let me see you. Shoot us a donation. Say hi. Tag a friend. Give me what's up. What's up? What's up? So Sleep Token in the UK, God Forbid, 2 reunion shows this weekend. Very hype. So far, they don't have anything else booked except these 2 shows and Lamb of God's boat cruise later in the year. I'm really hoping they add more shows. Royal Thunder is playing 2 shows this weekend. One at St. Vitus in Brooklyn will be at tomorrow. I believe Philly is the other one. Royal Thunder just dropped a new single and are teasing a new album that I think is going to come out later this year. One of the most killer bands of all time, Royal Thunder. Great stoner doom, melodic stoner doom. I see some more friends joined on TikTok. Good to see you. Good to see you. YouTube is where I'm struggling tonight. Tonight's a technical nightmare for the YouTubes. Could be, I'll blame the storm. You hear somebody hopefully not crashing. Trivium is kicking off their UK tour soon with Heaven Shall Burn and Obituary. We got some more Obituary news coming later in the show. Also announced for the spring, Triple B Records, a lot of metalcore and hardcore bands, Triple B bands, No Pressure, Tsunami, Pain of Truth, and more for the Triple B Records European Takeover Tour. Stay tuned in the UK and Europe if you love hardcore and metalcore. Also announced, Nonpoint has booked a March tour. They recently launched their record label in the last couple of years. They've been putting out a series of EPs. They booked a headline tour with our homies in Blacktop Mojo and Sumo Cyco, all killer bands we've all interviewed here at Ghost Cult. You can check all that content out here at YouTube and some of our other socials. A lot of fun there. Also, Vader. We've been talking a lot about Vader. Vader celebrated 25 years as a band recently. They're planning on a new album soon. They announced a huge tour of the US, a huge tour of Europe, and now, not to be outdone, Australia and New Zealand. So I know a lot of my Aussie friends and Kiwis like to say that the metal bands don't come there enough and it's a struggle. Vader has you covered if you like awesome death metal with a little bit of thrash leanings. No super chats on the YouTube. I will drink this whiskey. I had a headache earlier. I could use the whiskey shot. 2 cancellations, because the whole entertainment industry is struggling so badly. What's up, McKinley Illustrations? Because the entertainment industry is struggling really badly. I want to shout out some Broadway shows. I'm a big theater kid from my childhood, and Almost Famous. I love that movie. Could you tell? What do you love about music? Well, for starters, everything. The musical of Almost Famous is going to close on Broadway this week. This weekend is the last one. And the cast recording is going to come out on St. Patrick's Day. But it's a bummer that the show is closing, going dark on Broadway. A lot of Broadway shows are going out of business. And Beetlejuice, also beloved by metalheads, just a fun movie from the 80s and 90s. That show is also going out this weekend for its very last performance. I think one of my friends is going this weekend in New York. That out of the way, that's the tours and festivals and tour news. Now we're going to pick it up a little. We're going to pick up some steam. Are you ready? Ready to take off? Slipknot. If you're a fan of Slipknot, Slipknot is going to release their secret lost album, Look Outside Your Window, that was recorded in 2008. They are planning a release of this as soon as this spring. Their record deal with Roadrunner Records is over April 1st, which means April 2nd, they might drop a record. It's kind of in the Slipknot mythology, basically, of their whole career. On my podcast that I mentioned earlier in the show, we just did a whole run of the first 10 years of Slipknot albums, including All Hope Is Gone. Look Outside Your Window was recorded by Corey Taylor, Clown Crahan, Joey Jordison, Jim Root, and maybe one more member of Slipknot. It's kind of like a tiny album, an unplugged album, perhaps, or an ambient record. But that's finally going to come out. That's pretty exciting. Job for a Cowboy. I know we keep hearing, every year we keep hearing the Job for a Cowboy is going to make a comeback. I promise you, it's this year. Job for a Cowboy. If you like technical death metal, if you like the vocals, this band is coming back in 2023. They just finished their next to last sessions for the album. I think we're going to get a single in the spring, and we're going to get a new album later in the year. I'm very pumped. At least an EP, if not an album. And it's most of the original band. I think it's missing a couple of people. John Rice is not part of it. He's too busy with other things. They got Naveen Koperweiss from Entheos to perform drums on that, so it should be killer. He used to be in Animals as Leaders. Unbelievable drummer. Job for a Cowboy coming back. I'm very pumped about it. Ghost Cult was actually the very first band, the very first music news website to have that story. That was 2.5 years ago. Periphery is teasing new albums, progressive metalcore, I don't know what you call them, sometimes post-hardcore, sometimes prog metal. Not quite Between the Buried and Me, but almost in that vein. They are teasing a possible new album or a new single. Could happen as soon as today. We'll let you know. Also, Black Sabbath. Some Black Sabbath news. Not Black Sabbath with Ozzy, not Black Sabbath with Dio, not Black Sabbath with Ian Gillan, Black Sabbath with Tony Martin. Those records are finally going to get a full remaster and re-release this year. I suspect box sets or expanded vinyl of some sort, new on CD, remastered to digital on Spotify and streaming. Iommi has brought this up. Tony Martin has brought this up, but in a New Year's Eve message to fans, or New Year's Day message, Iommi confirmed this is happening. So New Year's is always the time to share news, things that are going on. So we're going to, we'll get a lot of stories at the turn of the year. Dethklok is nearly finished with their new album. It's going to be a lot of surprise records coming out this year. Brendan Small, Gene Hoglan, and Brian Beller are in the studio, and Gene shared a photo of them, and this is very exciting. Brendan has leaked out little details here and there. The band did a few shows last year, headlined the Adult Swim Festival once again. So new Dethklok, and not only a Dethklok album, but a Dethklok movie is in the works, a sequel to the Doomstar movie of 2013. So finally, a resolution to the Dethklok story once and for all, and album. Very cool, very cool. Let's see what else. The Royal Post in Great Britain, the United Kingdom, are releasing stamps of Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden postage stamps, commemorative postage. Is one of only 5 rock bands to ever get stamps in the UK. Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd, Beatles, I think Zeppelin, and Iron Maiden. Not even Sabbath. I think Iron Maiden. So, hello, Morally Deformed on Instagram, and Fox Fagan. What's up? What's up? Thanks for being here. You're watching our new show here on the webs. We are live streaming simultaneously on TikTok, YouTube, if it holds up, I don't know, and here on the gram. So we're doing our best, and we're just running down the news of the week here, the metal and rock news you may have missed. Iron Maiden's getting stamps. Grand opening, grand closing. Till Lindemann gets a statue made. His birthday was a couple of days ago. He turned 60, the Rammstein frontman. Famous designer and animator made a statue of him in Germany, and it was immediately stolen. I don't know if it was a publicity stunt. Kind of seems like it is. I also need Iron Maiden stamps, Bethune Tara. If you're in the UK and you're a friend to me, please holla. I don't think I can afford the $50 version with the Eddies, but I certainly would take the Iron Maiden commemorative concert stamps. I also have tons of Iron Maiden, photos I probably could just make my own stamps with. You can make your own stamps in the USA now, by the way, print at home. But yes, I would like some official Iron Maiden stamps. But yeah, Rammstein statue unveiled, stolen immediately. Imagine if they tried to steal the Lemmy statue out of the rainbow. There would be a murder. There would be a murder. But anyway, police in Rostock, Germany are investigating. Holy shit. Soulfly has a new guitar player finally, 2 years, a year and a half after Mark Rizzo quit the band, and all last year while Soulfly toured. Dino Cazares, our good friend who we just interviewed not too long ago, a Fear Factory, toured the whole year with Soulfly. They have announced Mike DeLeon, formerly of Philip Anselmo and the Illegals, formerly of MOD. I just saw him. He jumps on and does tours and guest spots with people. He just played here in November at the Bay Area Interthrashional with a bunch of legendary Bay Area thrash metal people where they did a bunch of covers. Mike is an incredible guitar player. He was on Philip's band for the whole Final Slayer tour that whole year. He's a great guy and a great guitar player. He is the new lead guitar player of Soulfly. Soulfly already has a huge tour booked for the whole world for 2023. Very excited. Let's see what else. Grief Symposium is, again, a new band. We talked about them earlier last month. They are closing in on releasing their new album at the end of the month on Church Road Records, In the Absence of Light, and they dropped a brand new single, Descent into Pandemonium. Sounds just as gruesome as you can imagine. It is gnarly. Fans of Bolt Thrower, fans of My Dying Bride, just kind of a death doom, gnarly, blackened death doom. If you like extreme metal, that's going to be one of your releases for the whole year. Definitely check it out. Flub, if you like weirdo progressive math rock, Flub shared a brand new video and a single, Paracosm. Killer song, killer video, a lot of fun. Las Vegas deathcore band Distinguisher was about to go on a tour. They just broke up. I don't know what that means for the tour, but they were about to go open for Within Destruction. A lot of people like that band. Scooter 0075 is here. What's up, Scooter? Again, if anybody jumps onto YouTube and says what's up to me and gives me a super chat, I will do a shot of this whiskey. If not, that's fine. I'm just trying to raise some money and be goofy. I don't know if you guys are big deathcore fans. Speaking of deathcore, we talked about Distinguisher. The Big Six is this huge, seems like a publicity stunt, deathcore boy band we've been hearing about the last few weeks. Attila, Fit for an Autopsy, Traitors, Infant Annihilator, I'm probably leaving it, Lorna Shore, all the big names. And then Fronz was one of the members from Attila, and he just quit this week. I was amicable. He says he's, put some time into the album ready, and he's been too busy with his family and Attila to continue to be in the band. They immediately replaced him with Darius from Spite. So if you're a fan of the genre, if you're excited about the Big Six, Darius is now in. Fronz from Attila is out. He is out. If you want to get big time mad, anytime pop culture invades rock and metal, we get big time mad. I don't enjoy celebrating these things. They don't matter that much to me. I don't like award shows. We don't do a lot of listicles here at Ghost Cult. Maybe I'll start doing them on YouTube, but really it's not a thing for us. Rolling Stone gave their list of the 200 best singers of all time. So number one, Rolling Stone, which means commercial pop singers across every genre, and probably not a lot of weight on their staff. They just started taking metal seriously. I know people were bugging out. Daniel, GD Navarro, what's up? People were like bugging out in December when they had like Chat Pile on their year-end metal list. And I was like, Chat Pile is kind of, a cool killer band. I saw them in 22, but like, somebody's got to cover good bands at Rolling Stone. I don't know. Yeah, the Big Six is a dumb name. It's dumb as fuck. I'm not going to lie. There's already a band called the Big Six. It's like the Google machine, people. When you're starting a band, the Google machine, try it out. See, go to Metal Archives. Go to Google. See if someone has your name. If too many bands have your name, you're not going to be searchable. Doesn't matter what it is. They're only lucky that like Lorna Shore is like the hottest band in the world right now. And so Will is like and huge on social media, right? With his YouTubes and his videos and stuff. So like, maybe that helps them, but like, it's a dumb name. The Big Six is a dumb name, straight up. So Rolling Stone has this list of 200 people, the 200 greatest singers ever. A lot of omissions. Pop fans are mad. R&B fans are mad. Classical music fans are mad. Opera singer people are mad. Everybody's mad. Rock fans, I'm surprised rock and metal got as represented as it did. So out of the 200, here's the list of rock and metal people that are on the list. You tell me what's wrong with this picture. Number 199, Glenn Danzig. Number 176, Iggy Pop. 165, Ronnie James Dio. 134, Axl Rose. 130, Courtney Love of Hole. 129, Rob Halford of Judas Priest. 112, Ozzy Osbourne. 109, Roger Daltrey of The Who. Semi-retired almost. 105, Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam. Nails on a Chalkboard to me, possibly Loving for You, Steve Perry of Journey at 82. Chris Cornell, rest in peace, of Soundgarden, Audioslave in his solo career, number 80, the 80th best singer ever, Chris Cornell. Robert Plant of Led Zeppelin, 63. Mick Jagger, somehow 52. Kurt Cobain of Nirvana, 36. He certainly wouldn't put himself at 36 if he was still alive. And Freddie Mercury of Queen, which means no rock singer was higher than 14 of the history of singers in music. And certainly Freddie Mercury, 14. Like, no Mike Patton, weird picks, just so super strange. A lot of people mad. I really don't care about Rolling Stone. They haven't been relative or important for a long time. But still, just like they have a lot of power. Maybe that helps those bands on the list get some more streams, or people check them out, or add them to a playlist. But like, disgraceful. Disgraceful. Yeah, Mike Patton, Lane Staley. Just a lot of other people I could have thought of. Almost no women. Like, Aretha Franklin was number one. I'm not going to bitch about Aretha Franklin. She's one of the greatest singers of all time. Doesn't matter about whether, she should be on a Rolling Stone list. She passed away a while back. And, I'm not going to debate how great Aretha Franklin is. She certainly deserves to be in the conversation of the greatest singers ever. It's just a stupid list if you're not going to count rock people seriously, rock and metal people. Just saying. System of a Down has a bunch of BS going on. Unbelievable, these guys. They just can't ever get along. Why can't we get along? You know why? Because of this dumb shit. System of a Down in late December teased that something is coming in 2023 from the band. They put out some charity singles a year and a half ago, like 15 months ago. And They might do some more touring. The money for them to go on tour is very lucrative. They had that big tour that was supposed to happen with Faith No More, and Faith No More pulled out. They still did a few dates with Korn and Helmet and such, but then they got COVID. So I don't know if they're going to rebook some of those dates they missed. I don't know if they're going to release some vinyls. I don't know if they've got a new charity single they're going to put out. I like that they were able to come back together and make some new music for a good cause. But then John Delmayan of System of a Down says, you know what? He was given an interview and he said, we should have just, Serge didn't want to be in the band since 2006. We should have just fired him and got a new singer. Can you even have System of a Down without Serge? I understand that people get replaced. Ozzy got replaced by Dio. Scott Weiland got replaced. Everybody's replaceable, right? But it's kind of like you can't replace System of a Down. You can't replace Serge. And he also dumped on all the side projects. Chavo's side projects. Darren's side project is basically System of a Down without Serge. Scars on Broadway. Dude, if you want to keep the peace, if you're mad that he's like, we wasted 15 years. We should have made more albums. We should have toured more. I get that it's very lucrative and he's salty. But that's not going to make your dude be friends and want to work with you. He's going to be pissed at you. You're not going to prod him into cooperating. It's just fucking stupid. Don't you think? I think it's dumb. Hella dumb. Also controversial. I know people love to get mad, big time mad about the Pantera tour. It's not a reunion. It's a tribute. Should they be Pantera? Should they not be Pantera? Rex Brown got COVID. Then it's just Phil out there. But they just completed their first tour back in 21 years, whatever you call it. It was very successful, wildly successful. You've seen the video. Huge crowds at festivals just going apeshit to have the band back in some form. But apparently, according to Sterling Winfield, who was Dimebag's guitar tech and sometimes a Pantera producer for an album, he said Zakk wasn't the only choice considered. Charlie Benante on drums was an automatic yes. And they considered other guitar players, he won't say who, instead of Zakk, stopping short of saying, he approved Zakk, said Zakk did a great job, but maybe he wasn't the first choice or the only choice. Then on top of that, Sterling said the notion that they would make new Pantera music with Rex, Phil, Charlie, and Zakk is not a good idea. The band has said it's a possibility. I think it's just better that they tour and not make new music. I don't need a new Pantera song or single. I have the classic music. That's good enough for me. What do you think? Drop a comment. Let us know. Should they be able to go out and make an album as Pantera? There's plenty of bands with no original members. Judas Priest has one original member. There's many bands with no original members still to this day, making new music, doing tours, making money, capitalizing. Obituary's new album comes out next week, and they dropped a brand new single and a video today, My Will to Live, a cool visualizer. Very excited about that. More deathcore news. The duo Darko, I think I referred to them as a supergroup because they're like the ex-Chelsea Grin singer and another famous guy on guitar. Kind of two celeb names in a genre kind of makes a supergroup, even if it's only two. And it's mostly a studio project. They dropped a brand new EP on New Year's Day, Death Mask 2. So again, a lot of deathcore news this week. Ignacio, what's up, pal? Good to see you. Welcome to our show. This is a weekly rock and metal news show. We've been live streaming these for the last month. We might continue that for a while. I'm enjoying these. Still trying to get the software to cooperate where I can do fun things on YouTube and have visuals and play videos and we can watch stuff together. It's coming. It's coming. It's just slow. It's just slow. Speaking of New Year stuff, we're getting to the end here, I promise. Foo Fighters made an announcement at New Year's, addressed their fans and said, they're coming back in 2023. And they're going to be a different kind of band, obviously, with the loss of Taylor Hawkins. They are going to continue. They are going to replace Taylor at some point. They are going to come back. And, it's heavy. It's heavy to have somebody pass away. We had 2 people on our staff die in 2022. It was heartbreaking. I was messed up for a long time over both of them. It's rough. So my heart goes out to them. Be interesting to see what Foo Fighters do next. As Dave Grohl has said many times, he cannot do anything else except being a band dude. He's not qualified to do anything else. He doesn't really want to produce other bands. He wants to go out and play shows and make records. Interesting. Interesting nonetheless. Metallica. Got to have some Metallica news. Seems like every week they do something new. 2 Metallica things of note this week. They passed the Billion Club twice in 2022. On New Year's Eve, Metallica shared their year-end wrap on Spotify. They had 1.6 billion streams for the whole year. Wild. And they finally got their first billion streaming song. Of course, it's Enter Sandman. The next nearest one is Nothing Else Matters. Probably be a few months before that also crosses the billion mark. Maybe 4 to 6 months, I'm guessing it tops. But yeah, Metallica crosses the billion mark. I know a lot of people had jokes like, ha ha ha, they'll make $4 off of that. But actually, the way streaming is calculated, especially on Spotify, is a range, and it's random. Metallica owns their own masters. They get a bigger cut of money than any other band gets for their music. I have a hunch that Metallica probably got like $4 or $5 million for that billion streams. I know it seems like to them it's probably nothing. To us, it seems like a lot. Everything is upside down. Earth, one of the coolest bands ever. I got to interview them a while, 3-4 years ago. Earth has a brand new album they dropped on New Year's Day. Even Hell Has Its Heroes, a soundtrack to a movie that hasn't come out yet. The album was crowdfunded, so the vinyls are all sold out. But if you like the incredible drone and doom of the band Earth, that album is out now on Bandcamp for streaming and purchase. You can also get a limited edition cassette or CD. Pitch Union, what's up? How are you doing? On Instagram, welcome to our show, our weekly rock and metal news show. I tried to put this news down in the script, lower down in the show, because I did some shorts on this and it was demonetized earlier today. So here's a bunch of bad news of people doing bad and dumb things. Marilyn Manson's ongoing legal battles got a little bit of a victory this week as one of the cases against him was dismissed in Los Angeles. Steven Tyler is in a civil lawsuit in Los Angeles over a relationship he had in 1976 with a young girl who was a teenager when he was 25. It's a civil case. There's no legal ramifications, unlike Manson, who is under a specter of legal trouble, actual court and jail and things like that. Even though he's had 2 cases dismissed, Manson still has over a dozen cases against him pending, and the city of Los Angeles that still has yet to formally press charges, but they're considering pressing charges. You know how that goes. And then in other dumb shit I don't understand, Alien Ant Farm is on tour, and they were performing their cover hit, Smooth Criminal, and the lead singer, some fan had their hand up to him, and he grabbed the fan's hand and put it on his junk, and now he's being charged with assault and battery. Make better choices with your life if you're a performing artist. It's hard enough out there, yo. Why are you going to do some dumb shit? Why are you going to do some dumb shit? Well, here's another Tara. Hi, Tara L. Tara. Anyway. Martha. Why did you say Martha? Anyway, Tara is like my Martha. Dumb shit. Don't do it. It's that simple. If you're a performing artist, don't do dumb shit, and you won't have dumb consequences happen to you. Another artist with a brand new album out, Nicaris, Israeli stoner doom, post grunge, dream pop, multi-hyphenate artist. We interviewed her a while back for her last release, and she dropped a new single and a video, Tea Party's Over, from her brand new double album dropped on New Year's Day. I am hopefully, see if I copied the names. I don't want to butcher the names, but we'll link it in the description so you can go check it out. I probably will interview Nicaris again at some point in the future. Turbid North is a cool band with members of Unearth and Moss Generator. They dropped a brand new single, The Road. It's a power trio from Texas. They got a new album coming out, The Decline. And The Road may sound familiar to you. It is definitely influenced by the author and the book of the same name by Cormac McCarthy. A lot of people like Cormac McCarthy. I have read a Cormac McCarthy book. Okay, that's all the news. Not so heavy on festivals, pretty okay on tours, and a lot of news items, right? That was we haven't had one of those in a long time. It's normally like a lot of festivals and tours and a little bit of news. So it's upside down today. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being patient. We got a little bit of show left, and then we're done. We're going to check out this awesome thing from my mailbag, and then we're going to say the pleasantries and get going. That's what we do. This week's mailbag is an awesome vinyl that I got in the mail. No, actually, no, I bought this at a record store. Forgive me. This is Sacred Reich's last album, Awakening. I am a huge Sacred Reich fan. Old school, second wave thrash metal from Phoenix, Arizona. This was their comeback record from 2019. It is pretty damn amazing. I interviewed Phil Ryan for this. I'm a huge fan. Got to see them a couple of times on tour. Saw them last spring open for Sepultura in California here, in Berkeley, at the UC Theater. It was amazing. This vinyl is a fancy vinyl, so I'm going to show you the fancy vinyl. It came in this paper sleeve. Got to normalize the Mylar. The Mylar keeps the vinyl tight. The paper's okay, but I like the Mylar. Normalize the Mylar. It's not that expensive. Here is the Awakening vinyl on this cool, looks like a cup of milk with a chocolate chip floating in it. I'm not sure what this is. I might be hallucinating at this point. It's late. I'm tired. But yeah, Sacred Reich vinyl, very cool. I think I bought that when I went to Psycho Las Vegas over the summer. So I bought that from the Metal Blade store. There's a little pop-up in an antique mall in Vegas. And yeah, a lot of fun. Nobody gave me a donation or a super chat or a thanks. I would have had a shot of this whiskey, but that's fine. I got some work to do. I need my facilities about me. Once again, this is the weekly ritual. Thanks for being here. Rock and metal news. If you like what you saw, throw us a like or a subscribe or a follow. Feel free to come at us in the comments for anything you didn't agree with or you were interested in or questions you may have. I'm very hopeful and positive this is going to be a good year. I hope you're excited for a new year and a good year. If you're struggling, please reach out to people. I mentioned some very heavy subject matter a few minutes ago. If you're the victim of domestic violence or sexual assault or abuse, you can check out rainwith2ns.org. I always link that in the comments. And again, if you're feeling bad or feeling alone, you're not alone. Somebody's out there for you. Somebody will help you. Reach out. You're not alone. It's a tough time. And as we say every week at this juncture of the show, it is a tough time in the world. So please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and stay as metal as humanly possible. Happy New Year and good night.